trying to pull it together,
right,
and they're sharing what they're going through, you feel better, and more often than not, you're going to find a direction with the help of people that are going through the emotional turmoil and the demoralization that you're feeling at that point. So the takeaway from this show is get busy living or get busy dying. Like my friend Marin said, you can jump in the boat with us, so to speak, and sink or swim.
There you go.
We're going to be riding this boat down Podcast Rapids, and you can jump in the boat with us and have the ride of your lives.
We have extra paddles.
But bring your own life preserver.
Bring your own life preserver. We only have one.
We're going to pause for station identification. You are listening to Sink or Swim with Wes and M. And when we come back, Marin will do the news and we'll wrap it up. And now, the news with Marin Flores.
All right. This first story comes to us from CNN, June 12th. A Texas father caught a man sexually assaulting his 4-year-old daughter and punched him in the head repeatedly, killing him, authorities said. The girl was left inside the family house during a social gathering while other members of her family were tending horses. The father returned to the house, caught the man in the act, and stopped him by striking him in the head several times. The man was pronounced dead at the scene, while the daughter was taken to a local hospital in Victoria, Texas, for examinations before being released, Lavaca County Sheriff Micah Harmon said. The father was casually acquainted with the alleged abuser. Neither has been publicly identified. The incident took place on Saturday. Harmon described the girl as being okay besides obvious mental trauma. Asked whether they would press charges against the father, the sheriff responded, "You have the right to defend your daughter. He acted in defense of his third person. Once the investigation is completed, we will submit it to the district attorney, who will submit it to the grand jury, who will decide if they will indict him." Harmon described the dad as very remorseful, adding that he didn't know the man was going to die. Authorities were withholding the deceased man's name while they notified the next of kin. Officials did not know immediately if he had prior criminal history.
I'm wondering how many people would have been saved future trauma and or criminal acts if all states had the same moral
compass
fortitude that Texas has.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they didn't prosecute the father or arrest him. I mean, it still remains to be seen whether he's going to face any charges.
I don't think he's going to face any charges, especially in Texas.
Right. If that were to happen somewhere else.
I'm
almost guarantee you if that were to happen in California,
yeah,
there'd be too many people like voicing their opinion.
And you know what? And I hear you on that. I totally hear you on that. We're so, while we're trying to abolish the death penalty, Texas is putting in a speed lane. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think it's Ron White who said that. The comedian Ron White, blue collar thriller and whatnot. But anyway, yeah. You know what? I have daughters of my own. And God forbid something like that happened to me. You know what? I'll beat a motherfucker too. You know what I mean? So, Anyway, moving on. Oh, you're gonna love this one, cause Wes loves Ashton Kutcher. He's a big fan of Ashton Kutcher and everything he's ever done. Ashton Kutcher wants to team up with Demi Moore for the remake of Smokey and the Bandit. The star wants Demi to play Sally Fields to his Burt Reynolds in a new version of the 1970s road movie. Ashton is a huge fan of Smokey and the Bandit and loves the idea of taking the story to a new audience, reveals a source close to the actor. He thinks Demi would make a great runaway bride. They love to work together, and this just may be the project. Burt Reynolds is lined up for a cameo and should the movie make the big screen. Demi has revealed that she'd like to direct Ashton in a movie. "I actually think I could direct him well," she says. When you know someone so well that you can see through their bullshit. That's what it would be like if I directed Ashton Kutcher. So Ashton Kutcher as Smokey and the Bandit. Burt Reynolds. I don't see it, man. I can't even see how the fuck they put him in to play Charlie Harper in 2.5 Men. I really don't.
Well, like I've already said,
he's a great actor.
Show's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think it is any. And it's I don't know. And I could be wrong. Maybe the movie's going to come out and it's going to be a great hit. But I just don't see him as, what were I don't remember the two actors that played when they did the remake of the Dukes of Hazzard. With Johnny Knoxville and the other guy. Some movies are just meant to stay classics, man.
Yeah,
that's it. Period.
But Hollywood is at a.
They're running out of ideas. Is what the fucking problem is.
No, my opinion is they're getting hit by the same economy, and if it made money before, then they can bake on it. That's why comic book movies are making it, because the story's already written. It's already making good numbers. So if they turn it into a movie, they've got a pretty good projection that it's going to put asses in seats.
Yeah.
Now. And sequels. We can capitalize on this amount of money for part one. So part two, we can project this amount of money for it. Or should we go with it or not? Then that makes their decision. Anything that has a prior history
of making money
is available and on the table. If it's an original idea, you've got to have either really big pull in the business, or a story that's gonna hit a home run regardless.
Right.
And if you can make it in this economy, you've got some gold out there.
Right.
And that's unfortunately a lot of the crap that we're seeing today. It's degrading what was an art where we can see good movies. I mean, one of the most original and probably best written movies I've seen in the last 10 years is Good Will Hunting, and it was put together by kids that went to school, perfected their craft, and compiled an idea, with a group of friends, and it turned into, blockbuster gold.
Right.
And it's really rare to see that, where people are coming up with an original concept that fortunately they had some momentum behind them as actors to say, hey, we have some credibility behind this. Look at our writing skills, and it hit a home run. The performance of Robin Williams knocked it out of the park. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck was a good
of course. You like apples?
There's plenty of one-liners in it that are great.
I got a number. How do you like them apples?
Seeing Robin Williams bring Matt Damon to tears by making him reflect on his own life was and then the scene where Matt Damon checks Robin Williams and makes him look at his past and reduces him
then his wife dies.
Right. And he looks at a painting and tells him, this is where your life is at right now. Just a painting that he didn't do, just a painting that he liked, that he just put up and just analyze his life with just one shot. Great writing. And you rarely get that in today's movies. 15 years ago, you would have seen a lot more talent, a lot more effort put into the performance. Now it's like, how good does it look and how good does it sound, and how much can we market off of selling things corresponding to this movie?
And a lot of these action movies too, they're doing the bigger, better explosion. I had a friend go see. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't give you my honest opinion on it. But he said he went to go see Battleship, and he says it wasn't up to par.
It tanked.
It wasn't up to par.
It broke records in how much money was put into it and how little it made back.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Wow. See,
the one right before that was that Disney movie about that Prince of Persia looking superhero movie that they put
John Carter?
Yeah.
How did I know that?
Fucking tanked. A ton of money put into that.
Yeah.
But ultimately, this story pisses me off, number one, because of Ashton Kutcher feeling...
Right.
If it's his concept and in his pitch...
Ashton Kutcher!
If it's his pitch, then fuck you in the neck bone, Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
If it's somebody approaching him saying, okay, he's got a lot of sexual charisma for the scene. The guy was a freaking Calvin Klein underwear model.
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds was one of the most famous celebrities to pose naked for Playgirl magazine. That shot with him on the leopard skin is super famous in Hollywood.
There's some old episodes of Saturday Night Live where Norm Macdonald
makes fun of that scene, and he even makes fun of that scene.
I think he would make a better Burt Reynolds than Ashton Kutcher, and he was doing it as a parody, you know?
Right. So my point is fucking Ashton Kutcher. If it's his pitch. And the weird thing about this business is people that don't have a script who just happen to be popular can bring a concept to fruition. Here's my idea, go write it. If I'm correct, Arnold Schwarzenegger, as soon as he left office, pitched the idea of Twins, the sequel. No director, no script, just a concept. Danny DeVito and then a third twin.
Let's make another twin.
and the third twin is